Here's Andy. Hello there, folks. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a let's play of Minecraft. I'll be honest with you, I've played this for, wow, 2-3 years, something like that, as you know, not long after it came out on the 360. So I already know quite a bit about how to do this, that, and the other. I've already created a world on here just to avoid the loading time, etc. So I will jump straight in to Here's Andy's Uncharted World 1. Survival mode on hard difficulty. So yeah, as we go along as well, I'll kind of explain to you some of the different things I do, some of the different techniques I have, and we shall just see how it goes. Alright, in this world, earlier on, I encountered 3 sheep at spawn, which was quite fortunate, to say the least. So I'm just gathering some wood now. I do have some lagging issues for some reason, which doesn't usually happen. So I'll just gather some logs and we can get started. I've chosen an area which is right next to some plains, which is quite handy because there's a lot of like grass and stuff as well for seeds. Aside from that, there's also like water here as well, which is going to come in really handy for farming and such, and also exploration. And there are also horses up here as well, so if I can find a slime, get plenty of string. Oh, there's cows there as well. Get plenty of string as well, then it should be grand. Let me just check my frame rate a second. Ooh. Right, I think I'm going to pause it a sec and wait for the chunks to load and wait for things to speed up. So I'll just skip ahead to that point. Okay, so that's sorted out now. I've also fiddled with the settings a bit as well, just to kind of allow much more of a free streaming experience, video experience. There's an apple by here. Captain State the Obvious moment. Anyways, I'm going to gather a bit more wood now that this is not lagging now, which is fantastic. So I was quite nervous that having this recorded, etc., would affect detail on textures as well. I know this is default. I do have some other ones, but as this is my first Minecraft recording, I thought to myself it would be better to do it completely vanilla, as it were, and go from there and just see how well received other texture packs are in the future once I've got a better hang on the technical side of things as well, to make sure that I don't lag on, you know, higher res textures and such. So there's 14 wood there so far. If I get just one more tree, to some this might seem quite excessive, but this is for a medium haul, as it were. So as soon as I get a shelter sorted, I've got enough wood then for sticks. I've got enough wood for charcoal as well, because you're not always going to be fortunate enough to run into some coal in a mine, for example. And plus I find with trees as well, when you have like saplings and that kind of thing, it really is a better kind of fuel source because, well, of course it's renewable. As one kind of side note for anyone who's relatively new to the game, one piece of charcoal smelts or cooks or burns 8 kind of pieces of one item, but if you decide to try and switch the item out for something else, it does take away from the cooking time a bit, so it might overlap, like overrun into another piece of coal or charcoal. Also to state as well, each piece of wood that you use as fuel in a furnace, which we'll come to later, cooks or smelts, etc., exactly 1.5 blocks of something. So that's something to keep in mind too. if you guys are anything like me, when you play Minecraft, you tend to conserve what you can, regardless of whether or not you have a load of it. And I just hear the zombie. And the first thing I'm going to do, as soon as I gather this wood, is obviously I'm going to make my shelter. And for the benefit of you viewers, what I think I'm actually going to do is do what a lot of you may do, and go underground as my first protocol, because a lot of new users generally tend to go underground, because it is a lot easier to set up and safer underground than it is above ground. Right, so if I just find a nice spot somewhere, I think I'll go in the middle of these cows somewhere, just so I'm right next to everything I want to be. I'll dig some of this up as well. If you see those there that drop from grass, they're wheat seeds, which you can plant later on to kind of turn into wheat, and then turn that into bread. Right, I think this is a good kind of spot by here. So what I usually do is mine a couple of blocks out in a set of 3, so you don't get funneled in too much, have any nasty surprises. Do a few more actually. Excuse me. Right. So what we're going to do now, or what I'm going to do, you know what I mean, is create a kind of stairway down and layer it under the ground. Now at some point or another I'm going to come into contact with stone, so I should quickly in a second make a pickaxe to get past it. There we are. Right, now that I've just done that, I've got a nice area. I don't like the idea of feeling claustrophobic, so that will explain why I went so many blocks down, so I could have a little bit of a roof, as it were. Right, I'm going to make this, say, 5 blocks wide, just to have a little bit of breathing space. Ah. Damn it. Right, this is... Okay, my house has a big great gaping hole in it. Well, not to worry, because we didn't waste any resources and it's still light out. So I can go elsewhere and do the exact same thing. Anyways, once we've done that, essentially what I'm going to do... if I go down here actually, let me go into my inventory, let me take a couple of those out, make a craft bench, make some sticks as well. I might want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A few more of those actually. Right, so I've got sticks, I've got a workbench. Let me just get the pick out of the way so that'll make it easier for later on. Right, I just want one because I'm not going to be mining a ridiculous amount of stone. As far as axes and stuff go for a minute, don't need to worry about that. We'll sort that out once we've got a shelter sorted. Right, so I'm going to start a cave of sorts by here. Knowing my luck now, chances are I'll bump into a cave as I'm digging my house. But this is generally easier for people as it doesn't require having to use so many resources. so you don't have to make loads and loads of planks and use it on building, as opposed to on tools and fuel and such like that. Right, so the stone is going to come in useful later on because we can use that for tools. Just make a bit of room there. I'll do that so that nothing can get the drop on us when we come through our front door. Right. As for the kind of the walls, etc., I'm not going to bother decorating them, etc., or making them out of a certain material, because that's the entire point of doing it this way, is so that you don't have to use resources as much. Right, it's starting to get dark now, so if I just put one dirt block there, actually. And from the cobblestone we get from this as well, it's actually quite handy, because I can turn that into a furnace at a later point. Right, so that is 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep. I'll just mine some of this up now. I usually, as I said earlier on, usually the first thing I do is make a shelter above ground. But I spend a considerable amount of time harvesting wood, which for the purposes of this video I think would just be a long and boring exercise for you all to see. Plus, I don't know if a lot of new players would have the patience as well. I know I certainly didn't when I started playing this, and I just wanted to get stuck in and find out what I could create and how I could survive the elements, as it were. By the power of the flower, I will destroy the land. Well, that's working out well. But what I'm going to do after this, in my next video, is go and gather some food and get some kind of storage system arranged. Because one thing a lot of people tend to overlook is, like when they start, is the importance of an orderly method of storage. So knowing where you're putting all your tools, knowing where you're putting all your food, all your building resources, all that kind of stuff. It is important to know, because if you need it in a hurry, such as when you just come from your mine and you're dying of hunger, then it is really important to know exactly where you put things. Right, so I've put that down there. Just going to quickly make a door. There we go. And make a bed. But I'm not going to sleep in it just yet when I've made it. Reason being, we need some light in here, otherwise there is a possibility that monsters could spawn in here whilst we try to sleep. So let me block that down there. Like I say, I've got some food on me at the moment, so that's something at least. Right, now this is what I was mentioning earlier on. If I put 2 in there, so one's already started burning and there's one spare in there. Those 2 blocks of wood I've just used as fuel in my furnace should cook, or burn, should I say, 3 blocks of wood. Excuse me, sorry. And the reason I'm doing this is, one, it can be used as fuel, charcoal, but aside from that you need charcoal or coal plus sticks in order to make torches, which is what I'm going to need to light up this place. So take them from there. I think I'll make just 2 torches. Like I said earlier on, every piece of charcoal cooks 8 blocks, so I'm going to put 16 there since I've got 2 charcoal, and I should be left with 16 at the end of it. Right, one piece of charcoal there. So yeah, and that'll make torches, and that is essential. Plonk that by there. Is there anything out here? I always do that. Go outside and place the door. Reason being, nothing can get any kind of shade under this part of the door here. If any skeletons try to attack you from the outside and they've got shade by here, they won't burn when the sun comes up. So it's important to remember that. Right, that's cooking away merrily. I can safely go to sleep now. And I've set my spawn point by doing that. So wherever you fall asleep, say in a bed, your character doesn't fall asleep automatically. But wherever you go to sleep, wherever you place your bed, is where your spawn point is going to be. Anyways, since I've got a bit of a starting point here, that is it for this video. Look out for part 2, where I show you about sorting out some storage system, like with chests and stuff, and gathering food and supplies. See ya!